This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. The murder count on Grand Bahama continues to climb. At a press conference held yesterday, the Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police and officer in charge of the Northern Bahamas told members of the media that they are making inroads in these recent murder cases. Italia Hall reports.
Grand Bahama recording its 7th murder. The Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police, Emric Seymour, giving an update on the latest incident on Sunday afternoon. Reports are that around 2 o'clock Sunday morning, police discovered a Dodge van outside a nightclub in 8 Mile Rock with a male inside with apparent gunshot wounds about the body. The victim was transported to the Rand Memorial Hospital where he later died.
In fact, the police who discovered this shooting incident in 8 Mile Rock this morning, while they were on routine patrol, they would have heard gunshots, and of course, as a result, they would have responded, and so it was them who really would have discovered and made the initial discovery. No one is in custody at the moment. We don't have a motive. However, that investigation, as in the 4 investigations, the 4 matters are in fact still fluid, and investigations are ongoing.
Seymour updated the media on all 4 of the recent murder cases, noting that police have suspects for 3 of the 4 cases, with the exception of the double murder that took place on March 21st on Bruce Avenue. The senior ACP is encouraging anyone with information to come forward to assist with the investigations.
Relatives and friends who know these suspects should turn them in to the police. You often hear me say from time to time, every act of criminality perpetrated in this Bahamas, someone other than the perpetrator knows something about it. Someone.
The local police chief is assuring residents that Grand Bahama still remains a safe place.
These acts of criminality, from where I sit, are random, notwithstanding how close they're happening to each other. I would encourage members of the Grand Bahama community to go about their usual business as they have been doing prior to. So there have been and there will continue to be enhanced police presence in and throughout the communities wherever we feel that there is a need.
He adds that he and his team are working around the clock to bring these matters to a close. It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Now, some are speculating that 2 of the recent murders may have been gang-related. At Sunday's press conference, Grand Bahamas Police Chief told the media that they have not established a motive in the recent murders, and to connect any of the cases to alleged gangs could be premature. But tonight, a former gang member is calling on all residents to step up and help stem the flow of violent crime. Megan Shepard reports.
How did we get here? That is the question former gang member turned youth activist Dudley Sade is now asking. Grand Bahama has recorded 5 murders within 2 weeks, and Sade is calling this nothing short of a crisis. Sade is appealing to all gang members and leaders to drop the guns and knives and turn to the Bible. Sade has been working with young men for many years now and says the state of crime in Grand Bahama is heartbreaking.
My heart is in pain. Megan, just to see what's going on in our little country, little Grand Bahama, that is not even safe anymore. Because a person died fish fry. You can imagine you went there to buy fish, and they trying to kill him, and you end up getting shot. So right now, I'm trying to make an appeal to the gangs. Stop. Enough is enough, man. Choose life, man, not death. Choose life, man. And God didn't bring you in this world to die young. In the old days, we used to bury our parents. Now we burying these young boys.
Sade says no longer can persons sit back and say it's not their child, a family member, or friend. As to why he believes young people are turning to violence and gangs.
It's love. What happens if your parents don't show it, the gangs will show it. I used to be in gangs, but I turned my life around. But it can't take only me. One, we need more men who have been successful to come back. They ain't joining gangs so much for the money, you know. They join gangs because they feel accepted and protected. But right now, joining the gang right this minute is dangerous. Because you could just hang with them, and because you're associated with them, they want to kill you.
Retired youth leader Terry Goldsmith says those in authority need to try a new method in solving the issue of crime.
Have we asked the young people themselves what the problem is? We don't do that. We assume right, that we know the answer for these young people. Times change. We're moving so quickly in this technological world. We're not keeping up with the young people, not at all. So we need to get ourselves together, right? Perhaps have some kind of questionnaire, survey of our young people on a national scale, right? Then we find out what the problem is.
Bishop Joseph Hall says that the community can no longer sit back and allow a small group to put fear in the lives of peaceful citizens. He says now more than ever, we need to turn to prayer. He is challenging all church leaders to make a difference.
Rather than staying in the four walls and hiding behind a pulpit, it's time now for them to step out of the four walls and go ye therefore into all the world and preach this gospel and compel men. We need to go on an assignment. I challenge every church leader.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
2 groups of Cuban migrants rescued at sea over the weekend. The first group of 10 males and 2 females were brought to Grand Bahama on Friday night by the U.S. Coast Guard cutter William Flores. The migrants were intercepted by the Coast Guard vessel in the area of Anguilla Key near the Key Sal Bank. They were turned over to immigration officials and then transported to New Providence to the detention center. The second group of Cubans was turned over to immigration officials today. 20 Cuban men and 2 dogs were intercepted at sea in 4 separate rustic vessels near the Key Sal Bank. The Cubans say they were headed to Florida. They were turned over to local authorities to be flown to New Providence to await repatriation. In other news, the official countdown is on to Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival here on Grand Bahama. Today, stakeholders came together for a special press conference to outline the goals for this year's festival. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
A major cultural event set to take place here on the island of Grand Bahama, and officials say millions will be spent to ensure its success. It will be a significant spend by the government, as a cultural explosion is set to hit this northern island.
$1.2 million being spent locally.
The return on that investment is expected to be even greater. This year, like last year, during its introduction of Junkanoo Carnival, thousands are being challenged to once again jump in the line. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, says this event will provide a significant economic boost for Grand Bahama.
52 vendors had a lucrative opportunity to earn substantial amount of money. Some 600 persons were employed, and some 310 small and medium-sized businesses benefited. As a direct result of the successful 2015 launch, some $5.5 million was directly injected in our local economy, and nearly all hotels and rent-a-car operators here were sold out. Approximately 30,000 people came together in the spirit of community, but all measures indicated that it was a complete success.
So excited. We've been waiting for this because of the impact that it had for our island. So many people benefited, so many businesses benefited. So once again, we thank the minister for all of his support and the government of the Bahamas for ensuring that Grand Bahama Island is represented.
Residents and visitors alike expected to be a part of this cultural mix. The Ministry of Tourism is gearing up to welcome large numbers of international and domestic tourists expected to grace our shores. Deputy Director of Ministry of Tourism, Betty Bethel.
This year, our emphasis has been placed on promoting Junkanoo Carnival kickoff in our marketplaces where we have direct lift, as well as connecting lift. We've been throughout the United States the last couple of months on sales missions talking about Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. And as a result, we will have a mega fam trip of travel agents that will be here the weekend of the 14th to the 15th, 16th of April. We are expecting a minimum of 50 travel agents from these gateways that we have been marketing in. We are also expecting media. We are looking to have media from as far as Paris, as well as Canada and the United States.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, there's more news after this.